leaders saying, how do we reverse obesity? How do we cure obesity? They're not asking that. They're saying, how can we actually say obesity is not your fault? Oprah, who's involved with Weight Watchers, just apologized for preaching personal accountability over the past decades. She said it's not personal accountability. We're supporting Ozempic. This is becoming, obesity is becoming something.
You think Oprah got paid?
She's highly involved with Weight Watchers. Yeah, Weight Watchers has shifted from a personal accountability organization that it's been preaching for decades and is now a prescriber of Ozempic. They've totally changed because Ozempic is a better business model because you never go off of it.
This is insane.
Well, it looks like Oprah finally picked the wrong day to be iconic because Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly just tag-teamed her legacy into a pile of motivational rubble. Tucker brought the smirk. Megyn brought the scalpel. Together they dismantled Oprah's empire like it was built on diet books and vague affirmations. One moment she was the voice of empowerment. The next she was dodging punchlines like flying yoga mats. What did they say that rattled the couch queen? Oh, it was brutally delicious.
Now that bill has gone and hasn't passed, will you reintroduce that?
Absolutely. And when I am elected president of the United States, I will make sure that bill gets to my desk and I will sign it into law.
We already knew that, Oprah. She said that at the debate. Oprah is no longer in the business of staying up on the news. I bet she didn't even watch the damn debate. She's reading undoubtedly from blue cards her staff gave her. That's how the Oprah Winfrey show was shot. Oprah didn't have to think of her own questions. I know. I've spoken with her executive producers over the years, all of them.
Picture this. The once beloved Oprah Winfrey, America's feel-good guru, now stands on a studio stage clutching a microphone like she's selling fresh air. Why? Because she's moderating a political event. And not just any event, a billion-dollar candidate's campaign rally wrapped in studio lights. But the real headline isn't just the optics. It's the optics plus a 7-figure paycheck. That's right, Oprah just cashed in on journalism.
Because rap music attacks women. I know the feeling. When I had a son, I stopped watching Oprah because it was just too anti-male. And I felt like I didn't want to bring him up in a home where Oprah was constantly attacking men, and it's really helped. Sure.
So let's get this straight. She took $1 million, maybe more, to moderate a Kamala Harris town hall. Instead of digging into real issues, she handed Harris a platform decked out with influencer lighting and Hollywood support. It wasn't an interview. It was a product launch. Features, benefits, and celebrity endorsements included.
When was the last time Oprah actually spent time hanging out with a working class person in America? She's on her Montecito estate with one of the most beautiful mansions known to man. And that is why she did not follow up with Kamala Harris in response to that stupid gun question with, well, you're on camera saying that you favor mandatory gun buybacks. So how would that work? The Oprah enthusiasm worked when it was genuine. When she first hit the scene in like the 1980s and she was fresh out of Chicago, she was in Chicago for the launch of her national talk show, she was something electric and interesting and authentic, you know? I miss fat Oprah. She was just genuine. Now this thin Ozempic Oprah has lost, along with the pounds, her heart, her sense of authenticity. And what we're getting these days is this cleansed elite billionaire version who wants to scrub the record.
Megyn Kelly didn't bother to hide how absurd it all looked. It was staged. It was forced. She said Oprah had gone from warm conversationalist to Broadway dramatist who forgot her lines. Her facial expressions told their own story. Deep sighs, soft gasps, perfectly timed camera close-ups. This wasn't journalism. It was performance art in a pantsuit.
Kamala Harris in the news this week for, among other reasons, having run her billion-dollar campaign down to the studs when it comes to her cash. She's reportedly $20 million in debt. We told you the story the other day. Well, now the reports are that she blew the vast majority of that last $20 million on stars. Now, so far, we've only had one star deny receiving a direct payment, and that person is Oprah Winfrey. The reporting is, and we've seen the verification via various publications, that Harpo Productions, her production company, was paid $1 million for that farce of a town hall that Oprah put on. What a joke. So Oprah's production company got $1 million to put that thing.
Then came the great Ozempic transformation. Millions saw Oprah slim down. But according to Megyn, yes, we're quoting here, she looked empty. Like she stripped the joy to fit the Mirror's trend. Kelly called it thin Oprah not as a compliment, but a warning. Lose 50 pounds, lose your soul. Isn't that rich? She's basically calling Ozempic a soul-leeching scam. But here's the irony. Oprah's brand is transformation. Reinvention. Shedding pounds fits right into that. What fell away wasn't just weight, it was Oprah's connection to her own narrative.
Oprah Winfrey, she's worth $3 billion. She's up there talking about all the racism she encountered.
But okay, so Oprah Winfrey is American, but Kamala Harris, Jamaicans are not Americans, A. B, not oppressed, and except they're actually very successful in the United States. Caribbeans in general, I think, make more than native-born whites. They're successful, they're entrepreneurial. They're not part of the history of racism and slavery in the United States, just the opposite. They just showed up here. So, this is ridiculous.
Meanwhile, Tucker Carlson called the entire thing a political circus disguised as civics. It was a press release, he said. Oprah gets paid. The campaign gets promotion. Hollywood stars get airtime. America gets applause breaks. No follow-ups on inflation. No talk of the border. Just claps and camera pans. Oprah didn't just bring her MIC, she brought Meryl Streep nodding solemnly, Julia Roberts beaming like she had thoughts, and Chris Rock doing a cameo still waiting for the punchline. It was all style. Zero depth. Megyn called it the ultimate failure of Oprah's journalistic credibility. Ouch. And here's the kicker, nobody questioned that $1 million paycheck. We crucify lesser-known journalists for that. Oprah. She glides past criticism like a ninja with selective amnesia. Influence without consequence.
Her schoolgirl affectations and body movements. Okay, ready? Here it is. Okay. She raises herself off her chair. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about this. Okay.
You're so right.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something you haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
It's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Right.
Let's talk about the hypocrisy. Oprah's brand once championed empowerment and critical thinking. Now she's paid to echo a campaign's talking points. If anyone else did that, they'd be dragged like Rupert Murdoch at a journalism ethics panel. But with Oprah, it's silence and polite applause. She weaponized credibility. Megyn Kelly said Oprah now feels completely out of touch, elitist, unreachable, trading the front porch for a penthouse. And when your events cost more than a country's GDP, you're not speaking to the everyday person anymore. Oprah came from rags. Now she's breathing air so rarefied it probably needs a disclaimer. And back to the weight loss, Megyn framed it like this. When Oprah lost the weight, something intangible fell off, her warmth. The irony. Oprah built a career on evolving. But this evolution was broadcasted, monetized, and rewarded. No wonder the narrative got flipped. What should have been a political discussion looked like a Netflix promo. It had lighting cues and soft focus cameras. It asked no real questions, just emotional check-ins. It wasn't civic engagement. It was content.
Let me tell you something, people. This is yet another piece of evidence that Oprah Winfrey is fake news. News people do not require the campaign to pay us so we can interview them. I did a town hall of sorts in this election when I sat down with the Tim Walz Stolen Valor former colleagues. Do you think I charged them to set up this? No, I didn't. Megyn Kelly paid for it. The Megyn Kelly.
So what did Oprah gain? A production credit, a viral TikTok clip, and another wave to ride into her next venture. No accountability. No tough questions. Just spectacle. She's now effectively selling not just self-help, but electoral trust. Polls show candidates see a bump when Oprah supports them. So they get credibility. She gets a fee. We get vague promises and daytime sparkle. Why bother with journalism when you can turn an election into a giveaway? You get a candidate. You get a candidate. But integrity? Not included. Oprah's fans aren't curious, they're converted. She's no longer just a celebrity. She's a boardroom goddess. Her charm has gone corporate. And the worst part? Don't blame Oprah for the grift. Blame her fans for swallowing it whole.
Here's Oprah on abortion.
If you do not have autonomy over this, if you cannot control when and how you choose to bring your children into this world and how they are raised and supported, there is no American dream.
There's no American dream without abortion. That to me sounds like a woman that's had an abortion. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Well, it's such a grotesque and crazy thing to say that clearly it's coming from somewhere.
Now here's the pinnacle roast. Oprah's brand is empowerment. You get a car. You get hope. But at the town hall, she gave 0 tough questions. Only pre-approved slogans. That wasn't empowerment. It was reputation management. Think about it, a dentist charging $1 million to brush a comedian's teeth. Did the job get done? Sure. But did it need 7 figures? Oprah brushed Harris's image. She polished the brand. She walked away with metaphorical stock options. We just got the bristles. This isn't satire. It's an indictment. She Monetized trust. Turned prestige into politics. Remember when Oprah told us to live bravely? Now it's profit bravely. She didn't make tough calls. She made production schedules. This wasn't a town hall. It was a keynote. With soft lighting and no spine. Welcome to democracy's latest rebrand.
Did you guys hear Oprah Winfrey? She turned into some sort of nutcase. She's a nutcase. Listen to her last night saying what she thinks the stakes are of this election.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again. We are voting to save ourselves from this precipice of danger.
Would you spare me the drama? I realize you made $1 billion in the drama business. Your tears, which you could no longer produce anymore. We all saw you run out of the tears. You got $1 billion. You stopped feeling empathy for the people who came on your show. We're going to have elections again. Just take a deep breath. You're good. May not turn out the way you want, but we're going to have another.
Now let's talk legacy laundering. Oprah isn't just coasting on old triumphs, she's pressure washing her image until it glows bright enough to blind the facts. She's not a cultural icon anymore. She's a high-end, high-budget political accessory. Her credibility used to be currency. Now it's product placement. She went from voice of the voiceless to megaphone for filtered rhetoric. Every time she speaks, it's dipped in faux humility and sparkle-eyed concern. Her timing is perfect. Her pauses are scripted. You don't need a teleprompter when your soul's been pre-programmed. And the silence. It's calculated. She dodges the hard stuff, border chaos, school meltdowns, inflation. But she'll monologue about spiritual alignment like it's a skin cream pitch. You'd think with all her power, she'd demand nuance. Instead she sells calm. She's not a journalist. She's a lifestyle subscription.
Oprah is admitting she's on Ozempic. And I know this is, our team asked you what was interesting to you today. This was on your list and mine. Because of course, you've done a lot of shows on Ozempic. I've listened to some of them. We've talked about this, there's a bunch of drugs. That's just one of the name brands. And now she said she originally wouldn't go on it because she thought it would be, quote, cheating. But now she's admitted that her recent weight loss is due to Ozempic. So what do you...
Let's be honest, her circle says it all. Insulated celebrities. Curated thinkers. There's no dissent. Just temperature-controlled echo chambers. Her storytelling used to feel raw and magnetic. Now it's as polished as an Oscar tribute reel. She could be replaced by a hologram and no one would blink. If AI becomes sentient, it may sue her for stealing its job. As for her every woman persona, gone. She's not relatable. She's Ms. Winfrey now, the one people clear aisles for. Her dog's birthday costs more than your car. Grounded. She's a blimp with branding. She knows her power. And that's what makes it worse. It's not ignorance. It's strategy. She's not a villain. But she's playing one slicker than most politicians. And that says a lot, considering they at least pretend not to be auditioning for talk shows. Oprah's not breaking the system. She is the system.